Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a great day so far. Today we're going to be delivering a very short and sweet Cardano update video, as I'm a little bit pressed for time, but you guys know we do cover ADA daily, and I thought today should be no different, certainly given the kind of downwards price action we've seen over the past 24 hours. And one thing that I really want to start this video off with is just reiterating to people that everything's okay, guys. I am not a fan of just how emotional people are on the short-term price movement. This is how markets work, ladies and gentlemen. They go up, they go down, and I don't like how everyone is going from being extremely bullish to bearish, to bullish, to bearish, to bullish, to bearish, in an extreme kind of manner, because there's no need for it, and you're really just tiring yourselves out. It's why it pays to have a broader time horizon to understand what's maybe affecting markets and why they're acting in the way that they are, and that's what we're hopefully doing on this channel. And it's also, again, really important to have a wider vision, a kind of broader plan, if you will. You know, you guys will know, certainly by now, that nobody's more bullish on the crypto space than I am. However, right now I'm cautiously optimistic on the short term to potentially mid, given everything that's going on, not in the cryptocurrency markets, but elsewhere. That's where my caution comes from, not the crypto space, but markets generally. And this year has revealed many things, and one thing that it's really revealed is that crypto has a correlation to the world around us, to your macroeconomics and everything taking place. And to ignore that, I think, is unwise, and you're really choosing to bury your head in the sand. And it's you know, ultimately, long term, I think crypto is going to do amazingly. Short term, we might be in for a little bit of turbulence given everything that's going on. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in this video. But we're going to be talking about the weekly, the daily, we'll drop down to the 4-hourly, talking about a number of patterns and indicators that are at play, and also talking about Bitcoin, because ADA sold off with the rest of the market that, of course, Bitcoin leads. It is still that tide that rises and sinks all ships. You need to absolutely understand that. And if you haven't by now, make today the day that you understand that. And there's nothing, in my opinion, worrying about what's going on with Cardano's price action at the moment. And just to really show you that from the start of the video, if we take a look at this move here, I think this was about a 59% move to the top. Okay, around about 56%, so 55% plus. Today, we've currently sold off 12%. Yet people, where we currently are, by the way, yet people are panicking. And there's no need for it. I'm really not a fan of just how driven everybody's emotions are and outlook is based on the short-term timeframes, because markets are volatile, and a market like the crypto space, given everything that's going on, is going to act in more of a high beta fashion. And it's important to put things into perspective. So this, for me, is very much still a retracement after an advancement, and your Fibonacci's kind of give you credence to that. So we'll start on the weekly. We'll work down the time frames. We'll also talk about Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap this video up. We'll be covering more news tomorrow. I have been creating a number of videos about various projects that are launching on top of the Cardano blockchain. A number of dApps coming, whether that be Cardano, Liquid Labs, you know, you name it. We are creating videos specifically on each individual dApp, each individual project, to give you guys a good overview of them, in case you're thinking about investing in them moving forwards. But remember, everything that we say and do on this channel is not financial advice and never will be, as I am not your financial advisor. So quick recap on the weekly. You know, you're coming up, you're against this 20 EMA, you have rejected off it, but you've not rejected in a violent manner, which is nice to see, and you're somewhat consolidating at it. Remember, these arrows signal prior hard forks, and every prior hard fork previously, we've had a run to the upside in the expectation of it. Is this, for the first time, about to be a hard fork that we don't run up to? I would argue on balance of probabilities that is not the case. Also, we've been watching our MACD cross. Same thing at play, guys. Every time we have one of these bullish MACD crosses, we get continuation to the upside. And we looked at ADA BTC, which is in a very similar place, which is Cardano against Bitcoin, to where it was here, when we had Cardano to the run up to $3, leading the market very much so. And I would argue that potentially we're setting up the criteria is there to do the same thing. You know, Cardano went on to make new all-time highs after the May sell-off a lot sooner than many of your other cryptocurrencies. And I think, you know, this time is going to be similar given everything that's taking place. We did have news. Cardano is starting a incubator. Project Catalyst is starting an incubator within Africa. You know, there is lots going on chain, but we have covered a lot of the fundamental reasons to be bullish on ADA in prior videos. This is just going to be a short and sweet one as I'm kind of pressed for time. Let's drop down to the time frames. We gave you yesterday your level that you absolutely did not want to sell below. And that was around about your $1, $1.03 mark, which we got very close to. You know, you guys know that we won't use that. You guys know that we're looking at a head and shoulders here, a potential reverse head and shoulders that I think is still at play, with this being your neckline. So we'll drop that down a little bit, but I think this is round about your neckline. And we did say this over here is a very key level. You invalidate that, this head and shoulders is somewhat out the window in my opinion, because typically with a head and shoulders, there's a lot more probability of it breaking to either the up or downside, in this case the upside as it is a reverse head and shoulders, if your right shoulder is weaker than your left. And that is still the case, guys. This is a very significant level that we've rejected off. You can see, if you look at these wicks, look how much selling pressure there is around here. Same over here. And if you go back throughout Cardano's history, it's been a very, and I'll move this for you quickly, it's been a very key level. So to not expect some kind of a reaction from it, I think was foolish. But we are looking for a breakout. We did think that potentially this might have been, that would be perfect, your right shoulder, a very small, weak one. But you're still within a potential forming left shoulder, head, and right shoulder that would give you targets to round about here, guys, and then you potentially in a bigger target. That's still what we're looking for. Right now, your stock RSI does indeed look like it's coming into the floor. And if you look previously at times when it's been down here, you've always seen a run to the upside. If you look historically, even if it is just a relief rally. So we are potentially in for that. It's too early to tell, and you're consolidating round about your EMA here. It's too early to tell whether you break this, but if you break this sort of $1, $1.03 mark, that to me would potentially be the precursor for more downward price action. And there's lots of things that can dictate that. One of the big ones being Bitcoin, which is what we're going to move on to now. So I'm not worried really at all about what's happening for ADA. To reiterate things again, we had, let's call it a 55% plus. We seem to be getting different numbers every time we're drawing this. Let's call it a 55% plus, 59% advancement. Okay. If we take the actual low, it was 16% down. And today is only, 12% down. Absolutely retracement levels, not reversal levels, retracement on a smaller trend. The overall trend is, and I must be totally honest with you guys, still technically downtrending. Yes, short term we've made a little bit of headway, but we are still in a big downward pattern, if this is a downward trending market. However, you have popped your head above the pulpit in the sense that you have broken out of it, but this isn't, you need to continue here. You need to see continuation. You need to start going on. This be a low, this be a high, this potentially be a low, high, low, and start putting in structure to essentially start a new trend. If you come down, you sell off again, you're continuing really a lower low and a lower high. Downward price action continuation. And that can be varied on a lot of things. But right now, we're very cautiously optimistic for the reasons that we explained at the start of the video. If we dive into Bitcoin very quickly, we did tell you guys in yesterday's video, weekly, we've really emphasized what's going on. We got rejected from a very key level. I'll drop it to the daily. A very key level for Bitcoin, around about this sort of 48K, 47 range. Historically, very key level. And you have seen a rejection of it. Now, yesterday, before we'd even broken back into our ascending triangle, we did say you're in danger of forming a descending one. And we hadn't yet broken it, but that was a structure that we were looking at, and we did indeed break it. The good thing is you're consolidating now within it. So really, a danger zone, if Bitcoin is going to continue going down, which I don't think potentially it will, always a possibility, you don't want to sort of break this level here, because then you're coming out of a broader structure that does have potential ramifications of taking you, back down to these kind of levels, which is always still a possibility, but we are remaining definitely on the side of being optimistic, however cautiously given everything that's going on in other markets. So just to reiterate and fly through everything, we are expecting continuation broadly based on a number of things: the hard fork, the MACD, the weekly, the MACD cross. Lots of good news coming out for ADA. There's going to be a huge run up to June, and then after June, you're actually going to see quite a few dApps deploy. We're waiting for stable coins. There's so much coming for the Cardano ecosystem, which are real fundamental reasons to be bullish on ADA. But markets are really moving like markets at the moment, and I don't really think it's too much to worry about. And just to reiterate this again, you see an advancement. Let's take that off. You see a pullback. Very, very common. And you're still well within that kind of pullback range, if you ask me, and kind of hanging around it quite nicely. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. It was just a short and sweet one. Markets are largely being driven right now by a number of things. A lot of them really have nothing to do with the cryptocurrency space, but what's going on elsewhere. Markets across the board saw a bit of a dampening, and we covered it in an earlier video, given what the Federal Reserve are doing. But yeah, so that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. I hope you all have a great Thursday evening, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.